few months that I was around him, about the only thing he wanted to talk about was spiritual matters, about what really is being born again, what really is heaven. How can you know that you're going? What happens to people that you love when they pass into eternity? And for the last at least 3 years, I saw that escalating greater and greater and becoming bigger and bigger in his life.
He said, you know, said, this may come as a shock to you, but said, you know who brought me back to the Lord? And I said, no, I don't have any other idea. He said, Mark Lowry. He said, Mark Lowry explained grace to me like no one ever could before.
I'd read a book called The Grace Awakening by Chuck Swindoll. I'd go over eat with JD and sit around his little condo up there. We'd sit around and talk about what I was learning in that book. And he would ask me what certain words mean, and I would explain it to him, you know. And then he would mull it over. He'd mull things over. You could see that fertile mind. I mean, he had a great mind to the day he died. And he would mull those things over and then spit them back to you on a level that anybody could get it. I mean, the cookies were on the bottom shelf when J.D. got through thinking about it.
Even though J.D. realized his time was short, he never lost his desire to perform or his sense of humor.
I get up every morning at 5 o'clock. I spend 225 days on my bus. I get up every morning at 5 o'clock. And that's the most precious time of the day. That's when me and Jesus do a lot of talking. Ain't nobody up with me and him. I can get a hold of him a lot easier. I thank him for everything and ask him to forgive me for things I done yesterday, and he does. Ask him to help me to be a better boy tomorrow. And he does. I sat there and drank my coffee and I watched that CNN. I ain't got none of that channel HBQ on there. Or movie channel. I ain't got nothing on there but CNN, History, A&E, and Discovery. I love to watch CNN. I want to see what old Bill done yesterday. He been a busy boy, ain't he? But I was sitting there watching CNN the other morning, drinking my coffee. A young man come on there and said, "Have I got good news for you?" I said, "Well, thank you, Jesus." I got up on the edge of my chair. I said, "It's been so long since I've heard some good news on television. I wanted to hear this." And I'm 73, and it's hard for me to move around real good, but I said, "I want to hear this." He said, "They've raised the life expectancy from 68 to 73. Fool sat right there and told me I was going to die. They say we got 2.5 minutes. We love you. We just came by to tell you about Jesus. That's what it's all about. I would love to tell you what I think of Jesus. Since I found in him a friend so kind and true, I would tell you how he changed my life completely. He did something that no other friend could do. No one ever cared for me and you like Jesus. There's no other friend so kind as he. No one else could take this whole sin and sorrow from me, so far from me. Oh, how much he cares for me.
"1998 was probably the toughest year for Daddy for several different reasons, but his health was failing him, and we guarded that.
We all realized that he wasn't feeling good. We could see him kind of going down, but it's like not as probably as much as somebody that's seen him ever so often. It's like watching a kid grow up. They grow up in front of you. You don't notice how much they've grown, but I could tell on the bus he would sit and he would lay down more and do things of that nature, and like we've talked before, he seemingly tried to make. If you thought he hurt your feelings, he was trying to make up with anybody who thought he'd hurt his feelings, and I think the Lord let him know that his time was short, and so he was trying to take advantage of that.
It's a cold, dreary day, and I'm laying in my room. You see, I don't have long to live, and I'll be leaving here soon. Oh, I've had a good life with so many happy memories, and I relived them all today, and they were so real to me.
I had gone out, as I did every day, to the bus, because we were remodeling it, and they were leaving on Wednesday night. And I had gone and gotten dinner, and we were going to run an errand. And we got in the car, and he said, "I want to play you the new project," and he put the tape in.
I remember when I married
and we started listening to the songs, and each of those songs brought back memories of when they were written in my childhood, growing up in Memphis, him being a part of the Blackwoods, and I knew the words to 90% of the songs, and all of a sudden a particular song came on the tape, and it was a song called "Oh Man Death." And he had written that song like 20 years ago, and it's a very powerful song, just the words. But when I heard him do it on that particular project that night, I thought my chest was going to explode. I mean, I listened to it, and he was driving, and I was sitting across from him, and I wouldn't look at him because Daddy, well, our whole family are crybabies, but Daddy and I mean, we couldn't say very much without breaking down. So I wouldn't look at him.
Okay, old boy.
But that song was just heart-wrenching because I felt like he was saying goodbye. And the song played, and he punched a rewind, and I thought, oh my God, he's going to play it again. And I was looking out the window, and he played it again. Well, by that time, I was crying, and I thought, what am I going to do? Straighten up, don't let him, just behave and all this kind of stuff. And it was at night, and when you're in the dark in the car, you don't see but just the silhouette of someone. But I turned and looked at him, and he had punched rewind again and was playing the song for the third time, and I looked at him, and tears were dripping off his chin. Of course, by then I just let it go. I was sobbing, you know. And I just said, Daddy, I can't stand it. I can't stand to listen to this song again. And he said, baby, you're going to have to, because it's going to happen. Someday it's going to happen. But he was telling me that he knew that someday was closer than either one of us wanted to say. And when he left that night, I really and truly had the sense that he was saying goodbye. And I would never see him again. And I did.
And I remember when I married my little woman, and how we toiled together to raise our family. It seemed that she'd strive and do things every day to make it easier on me. You see, God gave us 2 little girls, and again today I heard them cry.
We had a condo over in Myrtle Beach where we were staying, and the night before J.D. died, the day before, he had gotten sick, and we took him to the emergency room, and they gave him a little bit of medicine and told him that he had a little bit of bronchitis, you know, and that's why he was feeling so bad. So he began to feel better when he woke up the next morning, and we went out for dinner that night and had a big steak and a good time. And we were actually sitting around the table singing. I mean, that's kind of stupid. J.D. never did that. And at one point he just looked over at me and he said, you know, I think of you as my son. I think that maybe you're an angel that God sent to me. And he never said that before. I mean, why would he say it then unless he knew he was going to go pretty quick, you know? And so we went on back home and to the condo, and I always fixed the coffee so that all he'd have to do in the morning was get up and turn it on, and in just a minute he had coffee, because I've come in the kitchen before and watched him, you know, and he'd have on his sleeping clothes, and he'd be looking, you know, bending down, looking at the coffee, just waiting for it to get done. He'd have a cup in his hand, just ready. Boy, going to pour that thing and slurp it right down. But that morning when I woke up, I slept a little bit later than usual. It was about 7 o'clock because J.D. got up with the chickens. And I looked out of my bedroom door and I saw that coffee sitting out there hadn't dripped yet. So I kind of, you know, I thought, this might be the day. I always dreaded that day. But sure enough, I went in and there he had died in his sleep. You know,
In November of 1998, J.D. Sumner went to be with his beloved wife, Mary. His friends gathered in Nashville, Tennessee to bid their friend a final farewell.
I know he's in a better place. I know JD's happy and he's singing. He's making the thunder boom.
I wouldn't want him back. Not in that he could having trouble breathing, couldn't walk. He was homesick for Mary. He wanted to see Jesus. I mean, I think the scales were tipped over there. He had more over there than he had over here. I hear that happen at some point in your life. I've got his picture in my bathroom. I see it every morning. And you know, look at it and think about him.
I'm a better man having known J.D. Sumner. He's a wonderful guy. I loved him very much.
Old friends, like a rare piece of gold. Old friends, make it great to grow old. Old friends, what a wonderful friend. Old friends. He was an old friend.
There's no way that a man could have a better life than I had. Ain't no way. I mean, and I got a lot of friends, thank God. If I die tomorrow, well, I've had a ball.
We hope you've enjoyed this video from New Haven Collections. For more videos like this, you can check out their website by clicking the box above. Also, be sure to check out another one of our YouTube community partners, 615 Hideaway, for fantastic country music videos. Plus, you can see some of your favorite shows in their entirety at www.countryroadtv.com. Thanks for watching.